Beautiful. All right, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And thanks for jumping on here. Congratulations for being part of the BELT program, the Buckeye EXP Lead program. I know your time is valuable, so we're going to get to it right away. One thing you know about me, I start on time, end on time, and we're going to get after it first thing this morning. One of the most important things when working leads and actually being a real estate agent and any type of entrepreneur is this. You've got to have your mindset right. So we will start these always with some mindset to get your mind right. And one thing that I want to remind you is you are the brand. You are the brand. And what happens to so many real estate agents out there is they forget to work on themselves. The average person knows 16 realtors by first name. That's average, the average person. And so it's going to be very important that you work on you, because here's how it works. So if anybody ever was an athlete, or who was an athlete, raise your hand if you were an athlete, right? Raise your hand. Great. Did you play the game more or did you practice more? Which did you do? That's a rhetorical question, right? You practice more. Practice 10 times, 10 hours or more for every hour of actually play time. And the same thing goes with real estate. Here's what's going to happen to you. The lead you want is going to come in at the most inopportune time. And if you haven't already worked on your mindset and your personal growth and gotten yourself ready to go, you're going to have a hard time being the best version of yourself you can be at that time. And so when do you need to do it? I recommend for everybody this. So a lot of you have heard me do this training before. We're not going to do a training. I just want to share it with you. Is the miracle morning. The miracle morning for real estate agents. Now, what this is a book. You can get the audio book, of course. But I recommend getting the audiobook so you can listen to it, but also get the actual book. You can read it. You'll find when you're doing personal growth and mindset work, you'll get two different things when someone else is reading it to you, as well as when you're reading it to yourself. And what the Miracle Morning sets up is an intentional system. The key word here is intentional, a system for you to every single day work on yourself to get a little bit better. It uses an acronym called SAVERS, SAVERS, like lifesavers. Stands for silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and S stands for scribing or journaling. All of those things put together in a 1-hour package where you can start making yourself the best version of yourself. So when you come across to a complete stranger on the internet, it sounds weird saying that, but what we're doing, we're meeting strangers on the internet here. You're going to come across as somebody they want to work with, the person they're going to choose, not their pastor's wife's Pizza Hut delivery driver to use them as an agent. They're going to want to use you, right? So that is something I want everybody to work on. Obviously, we can't make you do it, but I can promise you this. It will pay off in huge dividends for you in your business, but also in your personal life, with your kids, with your spouse, with your family. It'll help all your interpersonal relationships, which to me is more important than money, because being the best version of yourself helps you handle those stressful situations that are out there. And you work on it in the morning. Why in the morning? Because during the daytime, it's go time. Here's what I know about a lot of real estate agents. I'll work on my health, working out and things like that at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'll do my personal growth at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What happens when you do that? We all know what happened. SHTF happens, right? The stuff hits the fan. And what do you put aside? Like if the closing is blowing up, are you still going to work on your personal growth and your mindset and things like that in the middle of the day? No, you're going to work on the closing that's blowing up. And it always happens. And if you're working on your physical health in the middle of the day and the lead comes in, right? You're at the gym, you're just going to have to hit when the smart number call comes in with the lead that comes to your phone. They're there for you to talk to. You're on the treadmill, right? Something like that. Last thing you're going to want to do is connect on a FaceTime or something with them because you're all sweaty and messed up. Okay, so Hal recommends you work on it in the morning outside of business hours. The reason you don't work on it in the evening is because a lot of times you're tired, you've had a rough day, and you've already missed out on all those opportunities that came in to be the best version of yourself. So it's called the Miracle Morning for a reason, because it's in the morning. Second thing we want to do, and there's a whole video I have on it that you can watch and go back and watch on my YouTube channel. So we're not going to get into that. Second thing I recommend for every single person on here is written goals. Written goals that you have posted on your mirror. Here's the thing. If you want to get somewhere, you have to know where you're going. You have to know where you're going or you can't get there. It's very important to have written goals. I have an entire video on the scientifically proven method of how to write goals, effective goals, not wishes, not dreams, goals that you work for, and the action plan to support that. Okay. So written goals, recommend that. The next thing we recommend is what I call the University on Wheels. The University on Wheels came from Zig Ziglar and Brian Tracy. And what they talk about is this. Anytime you make a commitment to yourself, anytime my car is moving, I'm either on the phone, hands-free now in Ohio, right? I'm on the phone with a prospect or client, or I'm listening to a business building book, some type of business building book, not a novel, not 50 Shades of Grey, Stacey Lambright. It's going to, hopefully she laughed at that when I said that. I can't see her in the thing anymore, but it's a business building book, something to help you with that. A book like by Darren Hardy, The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, or by Mel Robbins, right? The 5-second rule. One of the biggest things we find with real estate agents is call reluctancy. How do you get over call reluctancy to make the call? Well, the 5-second rule covers that. It's a great book that you can read, and it's awesome for any entrepreneur to get you to do the things that you know you need to do, but you don't want to do, and how your brain short circuits your success by getting you to procrastinate. Okay. Anyways, University on Wheels. I recommend it for everybody. And you just make that commitment and go there. Again, not telling you what you have to, I'm just telling you what you can do to win. Okay. Now we get to the part of who had some wins this week. Let me hear from somebody who wants to undo their mic and talk about a win they had this week and how it went, how it made you feel. Who had a win? Everybody's like, what? I didn't know. I thought you were just going to talk to us the whole time and I didn't have to say anything. Who had a win? Go ahead. I got one. Melinda Kessler. What happened to you this week?
Oh, well, it wasn't this week yet, but it was last week. I got a person in contract and the house did not have gap coverage. It actually appraised for $1,000 over what we offered for the house. So that was a win for me.
Beautiful. Congrats. Who else had a win? Stacy's taking a selfie. Hey, selfie, Stacy. Go ahead, Krista.
I joined a fantastic real estate troop this week.
Welcome aboard, everybody. Krista Johnson. She's a huge asset to the team. Who else had a win? Big Chris, let's hear it.
Yeah, I had 2 wins. One, I also joined an awesome new company called eXp Realty and joined forces with the Lambright team in this joint venture. But then also I recruited Krista Johnson to the company as well.
Great. And you got another brand new one. It's in Zanesville, right? She's actually sitting with Chantel this week and going to be connected and things like that. She's going to be taking her test. So awesome. Great job. Congrats on that. Who else? Anybody else want to share?
Yes.
Go, Jeannie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. Well, I got Aaron off to school on time. There he is. Anyway.
What's up, Aaron?
He's got his headphones on. Real estate, I had a Homes for Heroes, very young clients, actually my older son Brandon's age. They bought their first home and we closed yesterday. They're so excited. And then the husband said that his brother already asked about getting my phone number because he wants to buy now too.
Beautiful. Great job. Congrats.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Who else had a win? It's okay. Time to speak up. We get beat down so much in life. It's good to be bragged on a little bit. Who else had a win this week that wants to share? Anybody else?
Susan.
Susan, let's hear it, baby.
Well, I got 30,000 more than what the seller asked for on the listing, but it wasn't easy because I only had 2 offers on the table and I was going back and forth between the 2 buyers, and I was able to get the backup offer after the second offer that was made to the listing. And my seller has actually 3 investment properties. Guess what? I'm gonna get the next one that he's selling after this.
I love it. Every transaction should have a baby. That's what we say. If you do put a deal together, you should somehow be able to take care of those people so well that it should produce another deal out of them. Somewhere in their sphere, they have somebody that's going to be doing. So great job, Susan, on that. I saw Stacy chuckling at your comment. She wasn't laughing at you, but she was chuckling at the comment that you only had 2 buyers on it. Do you know, back in the old school real estate days, which we're kind of moving towards, in 90 to 180 days, you'll be glad for just one buyer on your listing, not two. And we're not talking about like right away, like we got so spoiled with the 10, 12, 15 offers, right? It'll get back to old school real estate. Hopefully not, but where you hope for one in 6 months. So
Well,
great
also-
job though, Susan. All set. Go ahead, Stacy.
Also, I was giving her props because I bet you those two offers didn't know there was only 2 offers on the table.
That's right, Stacy. I worked it.
Yeah,
I worked it. I worked it.
That's
Yeah,
skill based.
You're
Thank
worth it,
you.
girls. Well done. Well done. Great job. Who else? Then we're going to move on. Anybody else want to share? All right. Going once, going twice, going three. Okay, great job. So we'll do that every week also. Bring your wins. We're going to hear that. And then we're also going to talk about some challenges on the leads. We're going to use real world examples on the leads where you'll get a chance to share your screen with the lead that you're working on and what challenges are you having. And the group's going to be able to chime in and we're all going to collectively learn from each other's experiences. See, learning from your own mistakes is part of success, but you can put your success into hyperspeed by learning from other people's mistakes and it don't cost you any money, right? And so we're going to be doing that. So let's get into the KVCORE training. All right. And this is why you're going to want to be on computers, by the way, with these, because we're going to be sharing screens and things like that. But I'm going to share my screen and show you what we're working on here. So let me do this here. By the way, just so you know how much work Chris has been putting into this thing, I'm sharing this for you right now. This is 1 day worth of work, BELP checklist. This is stuff he was working on. There's all kinds of forms and documents and things that he put together. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on here and we love you guys and we're excited to have you be a part of it. But let's get into KVCORE. So the first thing you have to do if you're watching this that you need to know how to do is you have to be able to sign into Enterprise. I want to make sure everybody has done this. Signing into Enterprise, you're going to sign in. And when you get into there, you're going to scroll down. I'm assuming everybody that's on here has done this, but I'm just in case it's a training video for new people that come in. You're going to go down here to the KVCORE in the middle of your Enterprise. You're going to click that and you're going to get the KVCORE platform started. Here in Ohio, we're a restricted MLS. So it does take a couple days to get your KVCORE set up. It's not instantaneous. So you want to get people in there right away and have that set up. Okay, great. I'm assuming you've done that.
Hey, Jim, can I chime in real quick on that?
Please do.
Because that's actually, that will take you to log in, but you actually have to go to optional services on the left-hand side.
Right here.
Right there, and then click on KVCORE there in order to create
Beautiful.
it.
Your request was successfully sent on October 4th, 2018, and your account creation is in progress. Well, mine's done, but it's
Yeah.
in progress. Beautiful.
So that, yeah, it took me a while to find that.
Great. So that's where it's at. It's over here on the left on optional services. Great. From there, you're going to log into KVCORE. You use your same login that you had for Enterprise, unless you decide to change it later, but you'll get in. This is what you're going to see when you log in. Now, it's intimidating. Look, this thing is intimidating. I want you to know that when you get in here. And so how do you navigate this thing, man? What if you're brand new to KVCORE? You're looking at all these buttons, all this stuff going on down here. Here's where you're going to start. Over here on the right is a course. The Agent Quick Start. This is where everybody needs to start. I don't care if you've been using KVCORE for years like myself. I went through half of this last night and I learned so much stuff that I had no idea that I was not using. Either they've developed that since the first time I took the Agent Quick Start or my old brain has forgotten much of it. But you're going to do the Agent Quick Start. Also, just so you know, directly below that is the training calendar of all the different trainings with the KVCORE. And then also a marketplace webinar, right? So you can see these live trainings are awesome because you can do Q&A on them. But let's take a look at the Agent Quick Start. So the Agent Quick Start, you're going to click on that, and here's where it's going to take you. You're going to get in, and you're going to see what you have here. So your dashboard is going to show what you have available, okay? You're going to have in here how to get the Agent Quick Started. Mine says resume course. Yours will say start course. And then there's also the admin quick start. And I've got a bunch more that I'm going to be taking, but you'll get started on here. So I'm just going to click resume course. By the way, we're not going to watch, whoops, we're not going to watch all this together. I just want to show you what is available to you to get in here. Okay. First you're going to go with is setting up your KVCORE. Even if you think your KVCORE is set up, I would highly recommend going through each one of these 2-minute videos. So what do? You open your KVCORE in one window, you open the training in another window, and you go through step by step. There was a couple things that my profile was missing that I didn't know was missing. And this helped me do it. 2-minute video, 3-minute video. There's a 6-minute one, right? And it's going to show you everything you need to do. On top of that, for those of you who work very well off of checklists, look, I'm so bad at it, I didn't even know the name of it, what it's called. They're going to have checklists. So you can print off documents like so. The top 10 tips for KVCORE success. I would recommend printing that and having that for you so that you can see it. On top of it, here's some stuff. The KVCORE Agent Quick Start action items, and you can literally check them off, things that you need to do. Why is it important that your KVCORE is functioning properly? Because all these leads that come in through the KVCORE teams are going to be owned by Buckeye EXP lead program, but they're going to dump into your private EXP. I'm sorry, your private KVCORE. That's what I'm trying to say. So the leads you put into your KVCORE, we're not going to be able to see. But the leads that we give you, we are going to be able to see. And the KVCORE team's AI is going to be able to see if you did the items that you said you were going to do. And as we know from the introductory training that all of you took, if you don't do them, the AI is going to take the lead from you and it's going to stick it in a pond. And when it's in the pond, what's going to happen is there's going to be sharks in the pond, and those sharks are going to be able to pick up those leads and run with them. What are the sharks? The sharks are the hungry people. The people are like, look, I need more business. I got time on my hands. I'm ready to go. I'll make calls all friggin' day. Let's go, right? Those people are going to be able to get what Stacy and I like to call your unfair share. Unfair share. Now, the leads come in through a round robin rotation, right? So they're going to come in, but people that aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing will have the lead removed. And if they aren't checking in to their KVCORE like they're supposed to, they'll also be they'll be pulled out of the rotation. You'll be pulled out of the rotation. And also, I'm going to show you here in a second how to do it. You can pull yourself out of the rotation. Look, I got a lot going on. I got sick kids. We're planning a vacation to get out here in 2 days. We're packing. Just pull yourself out of the rotation. There's a little slider button. I'll show you where it's at. Pull yourself out of the rotation. Everyone's going to be fine with that. We get it. Life gets busy and you're too busy to take the leads. What we're trying to have happen here is effectively and efficiently produce on these leads at a point where the system, this system we built and heavily invested time and lots of money into, is going to start producing money. And when that happens, we can invest more money into it and start doing things called pay-per-click. Now, pay-per-click's very expensive, but it's very effective in basically it's a faucet. We can turn it on and we can turn it off. Oh, we're not getting enough leads and people are hungry, but people are closing the leads. We can turn it on, throw money in, knowing that the money will come out the backside of that. My cats are going to fight here in the background. They know the magic box is on. They get fed when the magic box is on. Okay. So let's take a look here at the KVCORE, what else we've got going on here. So this is the first step. By the way, last night I spent about 90 minutes and I made it halfway through the course. There are 96 minutes of videos, but you're going to pause the video and you're going to go over, you're going to accomplish the thing that they're telling you to do. These things that were in here, I had no idea that I wasn't using right. I'm being very transparent with you here. I was not using the search alerts, the market reports. There's a cat right here. Hey, he wants to be a part of it. Hello. I think you're Jax. You have to get off there. And leveraging smart campaigns. I was not using those properly. And for those of you who are sitting here right now going, huh? What are those? You absolutely need this quick start training. And in fact, we're going to use our favorite word in this group. It's going to be mandatory. We're going to want everybody to have this done, completed, the whole thing, set up by next Wednesday. And when you finish, you'll get a course completion on it. And the course completion is going to be at the end, and it'll say completed is what it'll say down here at the bottom. Okay. When it comes through. And you're
Jim,
going to send us to
I'm
that. I hear you, Melinda. Go ahead.
on here, and where did you go to get all those? I'm over looking at the side where, let's see, dashboard playbooks. Is it playbooks?
Yep. So on KVCORE right here, there is the agent quick start. Can you see my screen right now?
Okay, got it. Yep. I
That's
was
where it's
looking
gonna
over
be.
on the left-hand
All
side,
right,
sorry.
good question. No problem. Good question. The navigation on the left-hand side is going to be very important, which this training is going to teach you how KVCORE was set up very intuitively, actually. And I had no idea on this. When you look at this right now, if you don't understand the way they've actually set it up, it looks like a big blob of just, ugh. But they've actually set it up very intuitively, and they're going to explain that in this quick start training, how it's set up, which is going to help you navigate better what all this stuff is on the left. What are these tabs that are down here, these little placards, and it's going to help you get through there, okay? One thing that I'm going to tell you is this. Us forcing you, the mandatory to do this, is actually going to put you so far ahead of all the other agents using KVCORE, because as agents, we have ADD, right? We bounce around. We, just flying by the seat of our pants. Oh, I'll fill this in here. I'll fill this and do that. When you do this complete this course, your KVCORE is going to be set up and running, fully optimized, which is going to help your business for your personal leads. It's going to help. If you haven't been getting business out of your KVCORE, I promise you it's because it's not set up right. And to be fully transparent, Stacy, was ours set up right?
Jim's was not set up right.
No, ours was not set up right. Okay.
And some people on here probably remember me. I've preached this a couple of different times that KVCORE quick start. I did it probably about a year and a half ago, and I had two screens going. Like Jim said, I watched the video, paused it, did what I needed to do on the other one. And you can do it at different levels. And just what I set has made a huge difference in my KVCORE. So absolutely. And I was getting a refresher listening to Jim doing his last night, realizing I got to redo it and do a better job at setting it up. But it's awesome.
And they're always improving KVCORE, just so you know, they're always adding new features and things like that. So like I said, even if you did this already, it's worth going through it again, because I promise you've missed some things and some things that they have updated. And the great part about it is this system is going to take a ton of the busy work off your hands if you have it set up right, if you have it set up to win. And so you're going to want to put things in, like, for example, our bio, Stacy and our bio was one sentence, right? The bio that you put in there is your silent salesperson. It is your resume. It is who you are. What are you about? What do you like, right? The fact that we're military, we're Buckeye fans, we love animals, right? Especially crazy raccoons. All of that stuff goes in there because it helps people connect with you when they're, let's just call it for what it is, cyber stalking you, right? Like, hey, I've got this person who's sending me this stuff. All I did was click on a Google link, and now I got this realtor following me. Well, let me find out a little bit about them. And she's also a healthcare professional. She's got kids. She's awesome. She's into fitness. This is somebody I connect with, and it helps humanize you to the person. She also does a mean worm down the hallway of Las Vegas hotels, but we'll keep that. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right, Melissa? All right. So let's keep going on. Okay. So I beat that into the ground, as Stacy would say. You beat that into a ground sufficiently, Jim. So do the quick start training. Now they have tons of other trainings that you'll be able to do, but this is step one to get into that. Does anybody have any questions on that so far?
Yeah, Jim, I have
Go
a
ahead.
question.
Yes.
Are you able to toggle between your personal and the team, like up in that top right-hand corner?
Great question on that. So the team admins, which will be Chris and I, and then Mike Farrell's with Total Choice Mortgage, TCM. I've been calling them TCF. They're TCM, Total Choice Mortgage, not Total Choice Financial. And we'll be able to toggle back and forth on that. For you, you're not going to have any control of the team part, which we will have, but you'll have control of all of your private leads, which we do not have access to. That's all your stuff. and we'll only have access to your Buckeye EXP leads. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but is there a way for us to, when we're in our KVCORE, to be able to see which ones are our personal versus the team leads?
Yes. It's going to look like when you click on a lead, it's going to tell you where it came from. Okay. So for example, let's see TV on here, right?
If you click Smart CRM, I think it will also.
You could go to the contact record here, or you can go to Smart CRM and you can go to all contacts and then my contacts.
Hey, Chris, will these have a certain hashtag, the belt? Is that how we're gonna do it? Just have hashtag belt? So
It says who owns it over here
Okay.
on the right. Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Buckeye EXP, owned by Buckeye EXP. Your leads will be yours. There we go. Jim and Stacy Lambright down here, right? We own our own, and then Buckeye EXP. Does that answer your question, Melissa?
Jim, you're toggling through those too fast. Actually move your mouse where it shows them it's saying that.
Over here on the right, owned by Buckeye EXP. That's the EXP lead program. And then down here, owned by Jim and Stacy Lambright. These are owned by the Premier Group.
What do you guys already have leads? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some of us took the training, started
And just
figuring out the workflow. Very good.
just in case if someone's got their setup where because the way you had it set up, Jim, our faces were covering what you were saying. That's why I was lost
Oh,
on that. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else had
you
that.
need to share screen again?
Nope. If they just know it's right there where our pictures were underneath, if they move it, they'll see it.
Anyways, the training, the quick start training is going to cover all of that. I'm not even going to try to teach all of it to you because the trainer is obviously a professional trainer, and you're going to be able to pause the video, go see what they're talking about, come back to it, watch a little bit, 10 seconds, pause the video, and go complete the task they tell you to complete. You know, fill in your NRDS number. I'm like, what the hell is my NRDS number? I had to go search it and look for it, look it up, right? With National Association. You get what I'm saying, right? So everybody's going to go through that. We'll have it done by next Wednesday to put you in the rotation for leads. We are very close to leads starting to come in. They're starting to come in. We're still working out the workflow and what campaign they're going to be assigned to. The campaigns, which you'll learn in the quick start training, is the automation part of the AI that is going to take a lot of the work off your hands. Like all the emailing and texting and stuff like that's all automated. The phone calls from you are going to be the ones that are going to need to be done, and the video that you're going to send out to the leads. We're going to be sending a video. We'll get into this training next week, more of it, of the actual stuff you're going to be doing. Why? Because we don't have the program written yet, and that's not on Chris. We're still waiting on it from our Texas team to send it over, but we do have a 43-step smart campaign set up right now that looks like, well, let me share the screen. It is, let's see, still navigating my way across there. Hang on, dashboard. There's a smart campaign that we can get into, and it's under marketing, smart campaigns. There it is. The campaigns that we're building has all kinds of different campaigns, but the one that we're looking at right now is default new lead buyer. There's 43 steps to it of tasks, calls, texts, emails, calls, text, emails, calls, right, that are coming through. And everybody can see that. Anyways, those are all written for you. Here's what I would recommend, and they recommend this in the training also. KVCORE works off what's called the law of large numbers. The law of large numbers says this: they have tens and tens of thousands of agents who have sent hundreds of millions of messages out to buyers, to internet leads, right, that have come into the system. They know through the law of large numbers, through research, what gets a response and what doesn't. While the AI who's talking to the lead may not be your exact personality, like I'm more flowery with it when I put it in stuff like that, just stick for right now with what's in the default system. If you want to change your own personal one, you can clone it and go and create it and change it out. But this one is going to be customized to pull all the information from your profile you're going to create, and it's going to send it to them. But the responses and the computer questions that are being sent to the person is because they know it's a high level percentage that they'll respond. like one that says, hey, are you still looking for a home, right? That's in the subject line that goes out. They get that gets a high level of responses, and they've tested these. They've split tested them, all the scientific stuff. KVCORE knows what they are doing on that. Okay. So let's see. There are a
That's
couple.
really nice. So
Go
we
ahead.
don't
Who
have
had a
to wait.
question?
I was just going to say that's really nice because that would be another thing that people would hate to do is have to try and go in and change all them. So the fact that they know that these are tried and true and work, that's like takes some weight off of our shoulders.
For sure. You know, the system will cultivate these leads, incubate them, if you will, and then notify you when there's a behavioral alert, which we'll have set up, that says, hey, this person needs a realtor right now. And
Hey,
so you can focus on your day-to-day business, doing what you do, showing houses, writing contracts, doing listing appointments, prospecting, right? In the morning, working on your brand, which is you, right? The Miracle Morning. And
Hey, Jim, I'm going to add in real
ahead.
fast. The little bit of KVCORE that I did set up, I talked about a year and a half ago. I've got a smart campaign that was already in there that I clicked, and you'll see when that person starts talking to the AI or to the robot, whatever you want to call it. That's when I step in. When they start giving answers like, yes, I'm still in the market. At that point, you're going to see that you're going to see that communication. So that's when you don't see the communication from the AI to the person unless you're in the system. But when they respond, you're going to get that on text.
Yep.
So that's when you want to step in and take over, obviously. So that's what I've got that. That's the part that I said the simple part that I did is making me business, because that's the first thing that I set up was that anybody that comes in automatically gets that smart campaign. AI starting to talk to them. And when they respond, which could be a month later, could be instantaneous, could be 6 months later, that's when I step in.
Great. And I'm glad Stacy brought that up. One thing that some of you have not been added to the team yet. I sent out yesterday because I just got a text from Rance, and he's saying he has not received his email yet. What I'm asking everybody to do is, can everybody see my screen? Hopefully you can see it here. Is out of all of you on here, there's only 12 that have been added so far. So there's an email coming from KVCORE going to your EXP email, and it's sent you an email that you have to click back approve, that you approve being added to Buckeye EXP KVCORE teams. And so you'll have to manually do that. It was a very tedious, long day for me yesterday, filling out each one of them for each one of you. But all of you who are on here, and those of you who are watching the replay, have all had that done. If for some reason you can't find it in your spam or whatever, it would have went to your EXP email. If you can't find it, then we'll readdress it later today, but please go out there, everybody take a look and try to find it, because it is working for a bunch of you, but there's still at least half of you that are not added to the team, which means you haven't done that yet. Okay.
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
What is the subject line going to say?
I don't know, but just go to your EXP email and look up KVCORE. It would have been sent yesterday.
Okay.
So it's real easy to look for. It would have been yesterday.
All right.
So hopefully that answers your question on that, Rance. Also, everybody, and this is in the quick start, but everybody needs to download the KVCORE apps. There's 2 of them. One for open houses, that's for your own personal use. There's some really cool AI automation if you use KVCORE open house app at your open houses, some really cool stuff. And then the KVCORE app where you're going to be making your calls from. The KVCORE mobile app. Yeah, it logged me in immediately. Hang on one second. I want to show you what it looks like. It's KVCORE mobile. Okay. But the quick start's going to show you how to download it, whether you have iOS or whether you have Android. It's going to get you set up with that. One of the awesome parts about using the app is that it automatically updates the contact record for you. It updates it automatically. You don't have to go back in and say, okay, I called Bob at such and such time and things like that. It records it automatically for you. So you're good to go. And I think that you will like that once you get used to the added step of using the app. But just go into the app, your lead is there, and you'll call them from there. Now, contacting your lead and being in touch with them, something else really cool happens. When they call back in through the team number, which is in all of the outbound information that's going to them, the call is automatically routed to you through the artificial intelligence software. Anyways, you'll learn all this in the quick start, but I learned some really cool stuff that's going on so that it comes to you. Now, let's say this person is a year from now, you've forgotten who the hell they even are because maybe they didn't respond. You left them voicemails or something like that, but they're still having the AI reach out to them. And a year from now, they're ready to go. And they come in through they hit the phone, they click that phone number. The system is going to know it's a computer. It's going to route it to you a year from now. The lead that you were assigned, that you did the things you said you were going to do. That way the lead wasn't pulled from you, right? So there's some really cool stuff. So you don't have to keep, Sue and Bob, I have to remember them that they're looking in April. You won't have to remember that. It's going to be done for you with this system, okay? So you're going to love all that. So make sure you get your apps set up. It's in the quick start. So just don't skip around the quick start. Just go step by step by step by step. Okay, I'm going to wrap up here. We're going to go to some Q&A in a second. And Stace, I'm going to ask you to, if you have that kind of script idea ready here, I'm going to come to you here in a second. There are some add-ons that you do not have to do with KVCORE if you don't want to, but I would highly recommend. These are in the quick start also. You can check them out. First of all, if you're doing listings, you should be property boosting every listing you do. Is a great way to flood your KVCORE system with leads coming in on Property Boost. But we're not here to talk about listings right now. We're talking about some buyer stuff. There are two things right here in the middle, core video and voicemail drop, that I highly recommend you take a look at. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money because core video is $30 a month and voicemail drop is $20 a month. But you can create one video with core video and have it sent out through your KVCORE system. You don't have to watch the video and learn about it. And send it to a bunch of people all at once. Everyone to wish all of your leads a happy 4th of July. Put on your little Uncle Sam hat, right? And stuff like that and make a crazy video wishing everybody happy 4th of July, and you hit send. And it sends to each one of them individually to their cell phone. Or if they don't give you their cell phone number, it sends to their email. It's awesome. Voicemail drops, same thing. Create one voicemail. Happy Memorial Day. Hope you have a great one. Looking forward to helping you with your real estate needs in the future. As you know, I know you know this, but I've been doing real estate since 1997. Would love to help you out. Wherever you are in your real estate journey, let's connect and talk and see where you're at and craft a plan for you. Have a great holiday. Bam, voicemail drop. You can drop it in all their voicemails one time and reach out and everything one like that. Those are AI system type stuff that can build the relationship between these. I mean, they're warm inbound leads, but they're not warm to you because they don't know you. But little touches like that. Video is a huge piece of what's going to set all of us apart from the rest of the salespeople out there that are talking to internet leads. We're going to be sending them a video. And the core video just sets it up so that you can have one that goes out automatically. That's right. You can create the perfect video with the perfect lighting. I can get my beard filled in where the gray is coming through and get it colored in. I can have my little greasy makeup thing on that I use and my ring light, and I can create the perfect video with the perfect script one time. And I can have that go out to each person automatically, baked into the AI. So they're getting it automatically. Lead comes in, boom, they get a text from me, an email from me, and a video from me. Bam, done. And I didn't even have to do it.
Got a question.
As soon as I get to the phone, I make a call. Yeah, go ahead.
So I heard you say that right now, but just a minute ago, we were talking about the core video and the voicemail drop.
Yeah.
Do we not do them because it's going to be integrated into this belt, or is that what you're talking about? That's going to be integrated, these two things that we pay for each month. So I'm a little confused on that.
Yep. So great question. So those two things are optional for you to do. They will help you in the belt program, but they'll definitely help you also on your private leads that are coming in.
Okay.
I anticipate if you're using KVCORE properly, your leads, your personal leads are going to be 10 to 1 for what's coming in from Belp. Well,
Okay.
the first massive push that we're going to put out, Chris, is going to overload it with a bunch of leads on that. But once we've got through this big glut of leads that are sitting out there,
Uh-huh.
the amount of leads that will trickle in, or, there's going to be, Chris anticipates on the organic program about 1 lead per day per agent. And then once we get this thing working and we turn on the pay-per-click, it could be a lot more to keep everybody busy once we start closing some deals. But that's in the future for that.
So we
So-
want to do both of them then, correct? We want to pay that for the core video and the voicemail drop, because that's only going to go to our personal leads. And then the Belp
And you
is
can
going
use it
to
in
have it
Belp.
already built in.
It's going to
It
go
or
to
not.
every lead that you have, whether we assigned it to you or whether you brought it in organically yourself.
Okay, so
Right.
it's not going to be included in Belp.
No.
Okay.
So
Cool.
in the Belp workflow so great questions on that. So in the Belp workflow, it's going to say you need to send a video. Now, if you have core videos set up, it'll be automatic because you've already created the video and things like that. And this is something that you would pay for on that. If you don't want to do that, then you're just going to do the old school way. You'll pick your phone up because it's going to come in as a task. And you're going to say, Stace, actually, this is a good segue for you. What is something you would say to Stacey's the master at lead conversion for leads that come in. What's an idea of some components of what you would say to a new internet lead?
I know you used the word script before, which it's more of a process, because I think that the most important thing with these internet leads, and sorry, my camera's here, but I have it up on my computer. The most important part of these internet leads is building rapport. First of all, if they're on the internet, they're probably on other sites than just ours. So they're getting inundated with very AI responses. So I'm the furthest from an actual script. So I want it to be real. The very first thing, 9 times out of 10, whenever I get a lead, I'm already doing something, which most of you are too.
Right.
Take a second, and my clients are cool enough that I let them, hey, I got to answer this really fast. Send a text. You always have to respond with writing first, because obviously if any of us get a link or a voice message, we're not just hitting it if we don't know who it is. So I sent a quick thing that just says an introduction, like, hey, would absolutely love to help you see this house, or I'd love to help you start your home search. I immediately put up, let me see if I can pull, I was just talking to, I don't know if you guys can see this. So She happened to be green, so she was Android. So I couldn't leave a voice text, but I put up a response, and then I automatically send our picture. If they are iMessage, I'll actually leave a quick voice message too that says, I'm actually out on shows, would love to connect. Is it okay if I call you as soon as I'm done? So they know that you're a real person. And then this is one of Chris's people, and her and I were responding really, back and forth. Her first couple of responses were good. Well, then it went a few days without hearing from her. So I did this voice. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Hi, Betty. Sometimes it helps to put a face with a name, but I am here to help. I know you would check in with your daughter if you guys want to look at anything. A full-time real estate agent. I'm out showing houses today and thought about you. So let me know if I can help in any way. Even if you're just getting started, I know with internet searching and stuff like that, you could just be getting started. I'm here. I'm a well of useless knowledge after 27 years. So happy to help. Let me know if I can help in any way. We have amazing programs. Far as just
in 1.6 miles.
There's my map.
Turn right
Oh,
onto
where'd it go?
Davis Avenue.
But anyway, I'm here to help. If you need, and no matter where you're at in the stage of looking for homes, I'm happy to help you and your daughter find a house. And she actually responded to that. So be real. As you can see, there was no makeup. There was nothing scripted there. But make it personal. Be real. That's my method. And then 2, here's a tip. I think a lot of us are programmed to start digging and like playing Inspector Clouseau about, are you pre-approved? What's da. We don't have that. We haven't earned that right yet to ask them about their financial situation. You just met them. So I don't do that. If it's a house showing, like Jim did excellent. He took one of Chris's leads, set up a showing, went out and met the guy like ASAP, and it didn't work out for that exact house, but he got to shake his hand. And that's a metaphor, because until they know you, see you, touch you, they don't have any loyalty to you. So if you immediately start asking, well, what's your pre-approval amount? Have you been pre-approved? And I know some people do that, and that's fine. If I'm not swamped, which I'm not right now, I go meet them face to face, even if it's someone that I need to incubate and get credit help and stuff like that. I've earned their business, and they probably have, like, while Jim was out, he actually met another person that's looking to buy a house, literally the same appointment out on the street, same house. So yeah, that's just some personal tips for me, but be real, build the rapport, make it not just about the house. I ask all kinds of questions. Like, are you just getting started? Are you know, and just, yeah, get them talking. Like Jim always says, build rapport.
I love it. Be a human being. Let them know, because they are going to be approached by so much AI. We're not the only agents that use AI to talk to them, right? And things like that, and Realtor.com and Zillow and things like that. But be a human being. I love that, Stacy, when that you're talking about that on. So I think some good components of a first reach out is obviously your name. It's obviously taking away a little bit of the it's called risk removal. Hey, I don't know where you're at in your real estate journey. I know that you might be just in the beginning stages. That's no problem on that. You might just be getting started, but it would be a good idea for us to talk and just get an idea, a game plan of where you want to be. I'm a real person. I live right here. I've been doing real estate since blah, 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 blah. And then I would throw in some type of unique selling proposition, right? Unique selling proposition is what differentiates you from everyone else. My personal feeling is this, especially since maybe a lot of these leads are going to be first-time home buyers. Like, you'll have some descriptions on there, because Chris's leads fill out, some of them, very detailed information on what they're looking for, what area and things like that. But you can tailor your response to the information that they've given you. And let's say you know they're a first-time home buyer. What's something that first-time home buyers need to know? Well, two things. Number one, it doesn't cost anything to them to use your service for now. In the future, right? We may have to have buyers agents negotiate their own fee up front, but for right now, we get paid by the seller. It's not going to cost them anything to use you. Most first-time home buyers have no idea that. They're like, how the hell am I going to pay this realtor? I can barely save up my down payment. The other thing that first-time home buyers don't know is that there's grant money available, and sometimes you can get in for as little as $0 down. Do you know that almost 2/3 of first-time home buyers think they need 20% down to buy a house? 2/3, 2 out of 3 think they need 20%. We all know that they don't need that, right? In fact, we just had somebody start with us. Some of you met her on the comedy night, who actually works for the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, for OFA. And she got a real estate license, and super awesome. We're excited to have Tanisha aboard with us on that. And I keep pimping out her job, telling everybody that we're only going to get special rates now because she's an executive down there. Anyways, so those are the components you want to have. You want to be a human being, and you want to reach out to them. We're going to have more training on that and how to connect with people when we're going to go. You'll create your own style. I like what Stacy says, not really a script. It's more of a framework, right? Here's the pieces and components you want to have in it, but you got to make it yourself. You got to make it you and sound like you, because that's what people are going to connect with. And we're going to go from there. Let's see. So I covered KVCORE video, the voicemail drop. Great. Again, those are optional. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just telling you they will help you, not just in here, right? Like if you need to leave a voicemail for somebody, the voicemail drop's pretty awesome. You'll be able to click a button, boom, it's there. And it's the perfect voicemail with all the components, with no noise going on in the background and things like that. So voicemail drop's awesome. Plus, how do I communicate with 100 leads that I haven't talked to in a while, and I want to wish them a happy Memorial Day? Voicemail drop, baby. One message, bam, out it goes. Core video. If you don't want to pay for core video, then you'll just be creating a YouTube video, and you'll be dropping it into the core video memory bank, and you'll be sending it out manually versus the automation and stuff that they have with core video. So anyways, there you go. The system will do that. Learn more about it. If you like it, sign up. That's basically what I'm gonna say with that. Let's see, we're gonna go to Q&A. Actually, you know what? I want to go to Chris real quick. Chris, what did I miss that you want to add? And Stacy, anything you want to add? And then we'll go to Q&A and we'll wrap up for the day.
Yep. You actually covered most everything that I was thinking. One thing I did want to mention is I created a form, kind of like an informational form that we'll send out to you guys so you can fill out. Gives me a little bit of information about you guys, what areas you like to service and stuff like that. It's actually going to have a checklist of so right now I'm building out all the lead rotation areas, and so there'll be a checklist. Basically, do you want leads that are in North Columbus? And I define North Columbus as like Lewis Center, and I have a list of all the cities.
Delaware.
So Delaware I have is far north.
Cool.
So I have it broken down to like 20 different regions basically. And the way it will work is I'll have a corresponding lead routing for each one. So if you check, yes, I want North Columbus leads, then when I add agents to the North Columbus routing, you'll be one of those agents in there. So the more that you check, the more potential leads you could get. But obviously it gets wider. So if some agents will work anywhere, that's great. Some agents want to just focus just in a small spot, that's fine too. Some of them by price points. I have even broken down to do you work mobile homes? Do you get mobile home leads? So check all the ones that leads that you'd be interested in accepting, and that will help with the lead routing. I think Jim covered everything.
And that's a form you're going to send out to everybody, Chris?
Yeah, I'll send it in the chat. I can send it right now while we're all.
One thing that everybody is going to love about Chris, and will make glaringly obvious by working with Stacy and I, is that we were very disorganized, because his shit is on point, very organized, lots of forms, lots of checklists, and they're awesome. He kept sending them to me, say, hey, what do you think of this? I showed them to Stacy, and she goes, this is what we've been missing for the last 25 years. Oh my gosh, this stuff's awesome.
I'm going to switch gears and make a point here really fast too. And because I hope everybody realizes the magnitude of this, like Chris's expertise and what he's done. He has built brokerages on this in the past. And that's really important right now, because the market's getting harder, not easier. So the fact and the point that I want to make to this is, when you get in and you see what's happening, how easy is it? Or how much easier is it going to be to recruit? I mean, think about it. All the agents out there that don't have this type of stuff going on, and their lead sources are going down. It's getting harder to find buyers and stuff. Like, this is just, it was definitely something. The universe came together to make this happen for sure. And the fact that we've known each other for a long time, had a lot of, just the perfect pieces to the puzzle. So I hope you guys really, really appreciate the opportunity, and thank Chris. I do all the time. Thank you, Chris.
We call you the marriage saver, Chris. That's what your nickname is here in our house, with all your organizational skills and stuff like that. And on the recruiting thing, just on the KVCORE side, there's an agent attraction. There's an agent attraction workflow where you get an agent who's interested in EXP or hearing some information. You can stick them in there, and the AI will stay in touch with them for you for recruiting. Awesome stuff. So when the time comes that they do think about it, we talked to Chris about EXP first time 5 years ago. Yeah. And we talked to him again in between that brokerage and the brokerage he left again about it, and then now here 5 years later. So there you go. It's not a one and done thing. It takes some time sometimes. And Krista, and for the record, Krista told us no multiple times, but she told Chris yes right on board. Don't worry, Krista. It was a stab. My heart still hurts. Just kidding. We gotta have some fun. We're doing so. All right, Q&A, and then we're gonna wrap up and get everybody out of here. Don't forget the broker meeting before I mention it. The broker meeting. Stacy and I are planning another PINS get together at Easton for everybody to just come hang out, meet our allied partners. I think Total Choice Mortgage is on here this morning.
Yeah,
we have a rep.
Mike's on there.
Yep, we're here.
Big Mike, sorry, I did not give you a chance to talk, brother. I didn't see you on there. Oh, there you are.
No, we're good.
Looking good down there. We're all good with you?
We're good. Chris, the only thing when Chris is setting up the profiles, setting up the preferred lender, making sure that that's built out in KVCORE. That way we get the announcements and the alerts.
Yep, I sent the doc in. Should be coming here, and he said 2-3 business days, so we'll keep our eye on that.
Let's stress that. I know everybody might have personal relationships. A lot of us are already with Mike. I have to fight this because I've got other lead sources that I'm really relying heavily on right now. They come from lenders, and my first instinct is to send them to Mike. In this situation, Mike gets first chance to talk to everybody. So make sure that that happens and that you keep that connection together, because Mike's investing a lot in this program.
Yep. Huge.
And guys, when you get to that point, as Stacy said, that you've built the rapport and you feel it's time to share the My Mobile app, as soon as you share the app on the mobile with your co-branded cards, if you don't have a co-branded card, get with me so that we make sure that's turned on. Because when you're sharing me, you're sharing yourself. And it alerts me immediately that I'll send a group text, just trying to find a time to talk to the customer about their goals and their lending capacity. So you see the engagements there, and it's a warm handoff.
I used it yesterday for the first time. I had it working, and we could literally see every button the guy was touching. Mike was sending it to me in real time. Like, he's calculating his own payments. He's doing this, he's doing that. He was able to show me every single keystroke the guy did. So it's, I love Big Brother now. I used to always hate it, but now I'm in on it. I'm okay. I'm part of the new world order now. I'm ready for Big Brother to take over.
I'm always your little brother, Jim. You're older.
All right. Yeah. That'll never change. A lot older. All right, okay. So thanks. So Mike, we're good on that. Q&A, anybody questions? I see Melinda unmuted. Melinda, you got a question?
Yes. As we know, every single person that I ever get, I always try and get them to come to my lender, but some people like to choose their own. With the people that have their own, I will always tell them about Mike and why to choose Mike. But what do we do in the case where, is there somewhere that we make note, like they didn't want to,
Some are going to get away, Melinda, but I'll tell you this, they will never beat Mike on rate and pricing and things like that. He's if he gets last shot at them, sometimes people have relationships with other ones. There's going to be some that get away. There's also going to be some that use another realtor, but hopefully Mike will still get. So here's the workflow behind this thing. And so maybe answer your question is the Total Choice Mortgage is going to have access to all these leads too. When they come in, Stacey's waving me about something, and they're going to be contacting them too. They're going to know that lead's assigned to you. So they're going to be edifying you. Like, oh my gosh, Melinda's so awesome. You're so lucky to have gotten her. We do a lot of business with her. She's amazing. She's been doing it a long time. You're going to be in great shape with Melinda. He's going to edify you. You're going to edify Total Choice Mortgage, TCM. And together we'll build this triangle of trust that works. And Stacey, go ahead. You were going to say something.
So the script that I used, because I get that a lot, just out in my everyday leads, trying to get people over to Mike, is, and for our newer agents, here's the script that you use. Totally understand, totally respect that. But I know from experience, if there's just one person in the game, you're not getting the best rate and you're not getting the best fees. They have no competition. Why would they give you that? So it doesn't hurt just to check Mike and see what he has. And if you can use that to get a better rate, better fee with who you already know and trust, perfect. Because all you're doing is that once you get the lead to Mike, it's up to him to close them. But that script always works because it's true. If they're talking to one lender, they're not getting and that lender thinks they have them wrapped. They're not getting the best rate. They're not getting the best fees. They're probably not getting the best customer service.
Especially if they're going through a bank.
And guys, just a point. I mean, that's the reason why we're called Total Choice. We're giving the customer a banker option and a broker option. If they want to, if they're looking at our direct rates with Fannie, Freddie, FHA, USDA, whatever the case may be, or maybe they want to go with Rocket. We can broker a loan to Rocket. We can broker loans to Huntington Bank and still close. We can control all facets of the process, and we want to give them the choices. So it doesn't hurt them if they have a credit inquiry from one lender, as long as they don't pull more than 2 more inquiries in 90 days. It does not impede their credit score. They're encouraged to shop.
And by using that script, you've earned their trust, because what you're saying is heavily saying, like, totally respect that. In fact, I think they're a great mortgage company. I've heard of them, blah, 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 but I would just double check rate and fees, because if you start saying, no, you should really look at Mike, it sounds a lot like, so use that. It's called kind of like what they call it, the velvet hammer, where you're getting them over to Mike for a reason, but they think that it's just to get them a better rate, better fee with the lender that they're already with.
I always say pit them against each other, just like you would a car dealership. Let's get you more than one quote, just so you know where you're at.
And he also has that appraisal thing, that credit that he told me about, which is good. I don't know anybody else that's doing that.
Well, there's two things on the mobile app. There's a button. All they have to do is click the button for the appraisal coupon, and they get a $500 off the cost of their appraisal. It's a lender credit that we give because they use the mobile app. It's a button right below the apply on mobile. Also, if they're a military or first responder, they also receive an additional $995 credit off our closing costs. So our total closing costs are $1,535, and they can get a $1,495 credit. They're paying $40 for a credit report. That's all.
You guys are the hero for bringing them over to the mobile app.
What was the credit for the military first responder discount?
$995 plus the $500 appraisal coupon if they did the application using the mobile app. And the reason we want them to use the mobile app is because, like Jim just said, every facet of it is tracked. Jim sent me a client yesterday that thought that he applied. Well, he hit 17 buttons other than the apply on mobile button.
It's true.
And we're able to, we use it as a tool to help guide them and train them and coach them to help them along the process.
Yep. Awesome. Great question. Anybody else? See Mike Monday, you unmuted. Got a question?
Hey, yeah, real quick on that, for Mike Farrell, the 995, is that pushing them through Homes for Heroes, or is that just something you're doing independently?
That is our very good question, Mike. Our only contractual obligation to Homes for Heroes is the $500 appraisal voucher. But if it's a Homes for Heroes or anybody that works in a medical facility or a school or as a first responder, we give the $995 with or without Homes for Heroes. You do not have to discount your fees, your commissions.
Okay, awesome.
For those of you guys who don't know it on here, Chris is a Marine and Mike's former Navy. So yeah, we have soft spot in our hearts for those who are willing to put their lives on the line for the rest of us. So great question, Mike. Anybody else before we wrap up? Appreciate everybody jumping on. I'm going to just recap real quick while somebody's coming up with a question, but here's what you want to do. By next Wednesday, have gone through the quick start. Again, it's 96 minutes of videos. It'll probably take you about 2.5 hours by the time especially if your profile's not all set up, you'll watch the video, pause, do what they say, watch the next step, pause, right? You'll do that. You'll get all that done. Start yourself on a self-improvement program. Get your written goals up on your mirror. Start becoming the best version of yourself to be as attractive as you can to complete strangers who want to, who are looking for an agent, and they're going to choose you out of the other 15 agents that they know. Okay. Start doing University on Wheels. Get yourself a business audiobook. Start doing that while you're driving. Make sure you have your wins next week. Bring a win. We'd love to hear it. Congratulate you on it. Do the Agent Quick Start. Figure out if you're going to do KVCORE video and see if you're going to do the voicemail drop. Figure out on that. And then next week, we're also going to start doing some real world training on, hey, I've got this. My client sent me this. What should I do? And you're going to hear from some of the top people as well as your peers on some ideas on how to close more business. And bring your case studies. We're going to work on them right here on the screen. We'll share the screen and we'll figure out what we're going to need to do. I see Krista, you're unmuted. You got a question?
Yes, Jim, I wanted to say sorry about hurting your feelings, first of all. But then when Stacy gave the example of the text or the video text and all that, Stacy, is that when you step in after because the AI is talking to them, and then once they respond to something, then is that when you step in and do that?
Nope, that actually was a Chris's lead, just so you know, and giving him a pat on the back here, because I am using KVCORE with so my AI is set up with my own personal leads right now. Okay. When I'm getting a lead from Chris, I'm personally reaching out like instantaneous. I am going to set these up in the background. I haven't done it yet, but that was a warm pass off. So that was an immediate contact. She responded pretty quick, and then I lost, it went a couple of days without talking. So I sent that. Yeah.
Stacey and I put ourselves in the flow of the leads because we want to see in real time how it's working with us from our sales experience and things like that. So we can tweak the campaigns, so we can tweak the workflows and the AI to make sure that it's working for you guys. And we'll be getting feedback from you guys on that too. Go ahead.
We tested Chris out before we bid.
Yeah. We weren't sure about him.
So we were like,
We weren't
he
sure
was
about him
talking big
joining
game.
us.
I was like, let me see what you got.
We were hesitant. We had some Chris Lott hesitancy as to whether or not to bring him on board. So we had to test him out first. He had to prove his worth before we allowed him to come be a part of this. So
Hey, real quick,
Yeah.
one thing with the AI stuff, that's not replacing the personal phone calls.
no.
So don't think, oh, this is all AI, and then I just wait for someone to respond. No, the upfront new lead comes in, you're gonna have to hammer them with the 3
9
calls.
phone calls in 3 days.
And then that's when too, during the, throw in a verse, if they're not responding, you can throw in a video email,
Yep.
video, text, email, more personal stuff. And then not all internet leads are going to respond right away. Some are early in the process. Then that's when the AI will kind of kick in, incubate it in the background. And then, days, weeks, months later, if the lead then raises their hand, that's when it kind of brings it back to you to respond.
9 calls from you in the first 3 days will be in the workflow, will be required, or the lead will be sent to the pond. You'll use the app to track that you made the call. And inside that, the reason we're doing 9 is because 82% of internet leads do not even respond until well after the 5th reach out. Between reach out 5 and 8, 82% respond. Most agents stop calling after 1 or 2. But 82% respond after the 5th one. Go ahead, Stace.
I don't know if this is a now question or next week. It's probably good to cover both. But Chris, you tracked the conversion rate and stuff like that for one of the bigger teams in town that was doing really successful. On those 9 calls, are you leaving a voicemail each time? And are they an actual phone call, not a text? Like, what do those 9 phone calls look like in 3 days?
Calling their phone.
Well, I know, but am I leaving 9 voicemails if I don't get them on the phone?
So that's the system from the Texas people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the system of the Texas people.
Yep.
Okay. So people that were at our regional, you saw Jeff and Amanda is Whitehead, right?
White Spear.
White Spear. Thank you. So that's their system that we keep referencing about the Texas people. They are helping us. So they're in the mix too, which is really great to have that valuable input. We'll have to ask them that, Jim, that question for next week.
Yes,
So we have that answer for next week.
Susan, you had a question?
Wow, so I'm just trying to really improve myself. Where do you guys get the audiobooks? What's the app? That's what I'm.
Audible. AUDIBLE, Audible.
Thank you.
That was my question too.
There's
Audible.
also great podcasts you can listen to.
Yeah, it's part of your Amazon account. Amazon bought Audible.
Oh, thank you. I have Amazon, so it's all free. I haven't even been you to. Thank
I think
you.
it's like a discount in there, but yeah, you go in there, it's a couple bucks.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
worth
you.
it. Anybody else? We'll wrap up. Well, congratulations, guys. We are moving forward. We are literally burning the midnight oil, getting this thing implemented. That's another strength Chris has, is driving forward, where Stacy and I have fallen short in the past. We have grand ideas, but the execution sometimes just
Jim,
lacking a little bit.
It's going out.
Chris gave me a cattle prod yesterday with a list of things to have done. We don't have the agents still on the in the teams yet. Oh yeah, that was the last thing. If you did not see your name on this list, that means you are not part of the teams yet, which means you did not get your email. Let me just give you a quick look at it real quick. If you don't see your name on this list, Mike Farrell, Rena Harper, Danielle Jackson, Melinda, Valerie, Melissa Laudick, Paige Morris, Candace Neff, Rochelle Parsley, Rance Robbins, Susan Soon, Jeannie Zeke. And if I didn't call your name in there, it means you are not part of it yet. You need to go look for your email and push it through manually approve. Check your spam, but it went to your EXP email.
Yeah. The disciplines difference between Air Force and Marine Corps. All I gotta say.
Well played, sir. Well played. Well played. All right. So the recording will be here if anybody needs to see it. And yeah, some of the people have JOBs and stuff like that. Oh, one other thing, last housekeeping item, I swear I'm done. The BELP Facebook Messenger group chat, we're gonna try to keep it super clean so that only thing that's in there is just information that you need so that you can feel like you can go there. You're not gonna be able to run that. So if you have a meeting you can't make or something like that, just reach out to Stacey and I individually on it, and we'll get you the recording so you can do it. We don't need you to post, hey, I can't make it, or things like that. We're just gonna keep it really clean, really concise, just information. I'm not gonna be posting jokes in there and stuff like that. We'll do that in the other group, the 7-level group, and have fun in that one. But the BELP group, nice, clean, concise, just info.
So Mike Monday in the chat put up the headline for the email. So you guys can search for it.
Look at you, Monday, Mr. Professional soccer player extraordinaire turned superstar realtor.
That's what the subject line should see. So just search that, some of those keywords.
Great.
And then Jim, when they're part of KVCORE team and do that part, when do the leads start going out? Do they need to do the KVCORE quick start first?
Yeah, they gotta have it done because their KVCORE, if we dump leads into a KVCORE that's not set up properly, it's gonna be zero effectiveness.
Clarify that for everybody. So there's a sense of urgency.
So get it done.
You want
Get
them
it
to
done and then send us your completion certificate privately once you're done. You can knock it out today. And by the way, if you ever want to download the chat, because like what Mike Monday put there, if you didn't take a picture of it or something like that, all the way down the bottom of the chat, there's 3 little dots. Click the 3 dots, and at the top of that, it says save chat, and it'll save it to a text file on your computer. So I hope everybody got that. And that's how you can save chats. So you have it, and you'll have all the information was in the chat. Okay, great job. Go Navy. I see that, Mike Farrell. I see that. Well done, we gotta get our Army guys on here. All right.
State meeting.
All right, everybody. Good luck out there. We are rolling forward like a freight train towards this thing, getting leads. Going to make sure none of us are going to be the agent attrition that we're going to experience here in Central Ohio. We're all going to be there. There's a heart from Stacey. We love you guys. This is going to be awesome, and it's going to build the skills and tools we're teaching you in this is going to build your own private business outside of the BELP program. You're going to be very happy you did it. Mike said, when should we expect leads start filtering in? Once you've completed the quick start training and once you show up on the list, because I don't think you were in the I don't think you're in there yet. So
and we still have a few things to build out, like the smart campaigns and the lead routing and all that. So maybe by the end of the week we can start getting some leads, like new leads flowing, and then probably early next week is when we'll start like truly
a glut.
Yeah.
So
we're calling it the glut.
Let's clarify those really fast. So what he's talking about with the glut is Chris has, when we talk about AI incubating, he's got a whole pond. He's got a comment in it of how many leads. Those are the ones that we're gonna have to work and massage a little bit because they've been sitting there for a while. And then we're gonna combine that with brand new incoming leads. So
those leads, a lot of them are actively looking for houses right now on his other system. They're going to be dumping in there. Those people need realtors.
Real fast before we click off, if everybody hits Chris's link on there, it won't kick you out of this meeting. It'll pull that up in a different screen. Go ahead and fill out your form, Chris's form on where you want to do business and stuff like that.
Yeah,
put that in the BELP group also, please.
Yeah, I did.
Please, you did. Okay, perfect. So it's there. You can click it, fill out the form, because like Chantel, she's in Zanesville. Probably a bunch of you aren't going to be taking the Zanesville lead, so you're not going to click that. Kyle's up in Mansfield. You get the idea, right? So, all right, guys. Great stuff. We'll see everybody soon.
See you.